It sounds kind of gross, doesn't it? Now we need some kind of wow music. Yes.
It's Todd to do a Star Trek.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get the idea I convinced Todd to do Star Trek? Todd fell on his little Asian knees and begged me to let him be in my Star Trek series. Don't let him tell you different. I don't want to derail, remember? I don't want to derail. We're talking about Full Metal, but I do have a Star Trek thing on Sunday, and I'm quite sure that it will seep into every conversation I have this weekend. But I just started, and we are getting ready to launch a brand new web series called Star Trek Continues. We are rebuilding all of the sets from the original series, uniforms, all of it. I mean, you guys, it's off the charts. It's called Star Trek Continues. You can look it up, StarTrekContinues.com. You can see our cast list there. And I am going to be fulfilling a childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. I'm so excited. I'm not going to do it like that, but anyway. Oh, follow-up question. So by the way, but in reality, the truth is, Todd flipping begged. I mean, he was like, oh, I'll do anything. And I'm like, But he sent an audition video of him Todd's playing Mr. Spock. Yes. Oh, good. What's your second question?
Oh, my second question is, how would you describe Edward, concerning all the characters you've done so far? Comparing him to Phi and Tamaki and give me another one. Yeah.
Zero from Vampire Night. Zero. You know what? I have to tell you, for the longest time, I really had a hard. Ooh, nice wall scroll. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Vampire Night is on television in Australia. So I go over there expecting, to talk about Full Metal or on High School. Vampire Night, out the wazoo. I mean, they were all about the Vampire Night. And I was like, why does everybody know about Vampire Night over here? It's on television, so. Oh yeah. Okay. Man, I get distracted so easy, don't I? The question about, You know what, you guys, for the longest time, I had a hard time picking what character, when people would say, what's your favorite character? I would be like, ooh, that's a hard one because I love so many different characters. I love something, special about all of them. And so I tried to be politically correct and say, ooh, I could never choose just one. I love all my characters, my children. I love them all equally. But then when we finished Brotherhood, I was like, oh God, I love Ed so much. I love that little pipsqueak. And so from that point on, I was like, when people ask me what my favorite character was, I love Ed. What do I love about him? Let me tell you what I love about Ed. What I love about Ed is that he is a tragic, flawed hero. He makes mistakes, he does stupid things, he fails, but he gets back up and he pushes toward something he believes in, and he's loyal and to his brother and his friends, and he's a tragic character. What he and his brother tried to do, the loss in their lives, oh my gosh. Their dad takes off when they're young, their mom dies when they're young, they're left alone, right? And they try this crazy transmutation to bring her back and just about destroy themselves. I mean, can you imagine the guilt that poor little kid must feel, And so I love that character. He's so complex. And after Brotherhood, he was I had to tell people he was my favorite. Tamaki is a very close second, though. I have to tell you, very close second. Yes, right beside Maka. Sorry? I love milk. Don't tell Ed I said that, but I love milk. I have to tell you a funny story. It's a Full Metal story. I'm not getting off topic here. We had just started recording Brotherhood, okay? And we were like in the first couple episodes. Now remember, we had a new Al, right? So I didn't even know who she was. I hadn't heard her voice before. I assumed she was gonna be awesome. And she was. Maxie was amazing. But when we first started recording, I hadn't heard much of her, I didn't know what she sounded like. And in one of the very first episodes, there's a scene where Al and Ed are walking away from Winry's house, and Winry yells out, "Don't forget to come back for dinner. Grandma's making, Auntie Panaco's making stew." Remember this? And Al turns around and goes, "Yay, stew!" And Ed goes, "Yeah, whatever." Right? And then they go into this little scene about milk. Ed talks about it's weird, I really like stew even though it's made of milk, it has milk in it. Well, when I was recording that scene where we're walking away and Al turns around and goes, "Yay, stew!" It's two flaps. It's very clearly the animation is blah, blah, right? I had the script in front of me. I knew what she was gonna say. She was gonna say, "Yay, stew!" That's what it says right there on the script. Yay, stew. And then Ed, whatever, right? So I'm getting ready to record my whatever line. And Maxie had already recorded. So I'm still kind of getting used to her voice as Al, and it's all new and fresh, and I'm kind of listening very closely to everything she had already recorded to kind of get used to her voice. And I was getting ready. And right before my line, you hear boop, boop, boop. And where the fourth one is supposed to be is where you speak. It's your cue to start your line. Well, while I'm hearing the beeps, I hear Al's line, right? So the director's like, "Okay, let's try one." So I'm getting ready to do my whatever. Boop, boop, boop. And I hear Al go, "Hell yeah!" Only she didn't say hell. She said F dash 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 yeah. Imagine Alphonse going, F yeah! I just about threw up. I was laughing so hard to see my beautiful little brother and his potty mouth. You guys, and from that moment I knew Maxie Whitehead is cool. I mean, she is funny and cool, and she left that little bomb for me, so that when I came in to record, I would hear that. Let's take a question from the tallest American in the room. She's holding a flag up and everything. Give me a boost. Yes. Really? That's so easy. Come here, run, come on, glomp, come on! Well, I didn't expect that much, but... does this belong to anyone? I'd like to return this. Oh, your hair is adorable.
I lost the game, everyone.
Sorry, she kind of took the microphone before I knew what was happening. I'd like to apologize for that game thing. Yes? Yes, sir.
What were some of the hardest lines to do with Full Metal Alchemist?
Well, the hardest lines for me are always the yelling things. And it's not hard, like emotionally difficult. It's just straining on the voice. What we would normally do is we would record all of the actual dialogue, all of the normal speaking, and then we would go back and record all the yelling at the end of the session, because after you yell for 25 or 30 minutes, your voice is kind of shot, and you can't do any normal dialogue after that because you don't sound the same. So we jump all around. So whenever we would come to a scene where Ed starts fighting somebody, we would be like, okay, and let's skip that part. And let's go over here and talk, 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 talk. Oh, he's yelling about being short. Let's skip that part and talk, 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 right? And so then we would go back and say, okay, on page 12, you're beating the crap out of somebody. Go. Oh, and now on page 29, you're screaming because you're short. And, you know, we would do all of the yelling at the end. And it wasn't that it was, you know, it was difficult and emotionally, dramatically challenging. It just was rough on the voice. That was about it. Yes, sir.
Could you give us a little bit of details about what it's like in professional recording voiceover work? Like, are you seeing screen?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what it's like. I'm going to paint the picture for you, okay?
And then I've always kind of wondered about this, but do they remake the mouth?
Oh, no. No, no, no. No, one of the stipulations, in fact, one of the things that makes voice acting so difficult for anime is that the animation is done. And a very, very, very firm, unchanging rule from the Japanese companies that own the anime is you don't change the anime. You don't touch it to match your mouth, the chin mouth movements. You want the guy to say something longer than he said in the original? Too bad. Shorten the line. You don't change video. Never, ever, okay? So that's the challenge. The challenge is not only to perform the line in a way that's emotional, right, and dramatic, but to perform it in a very strict confine of mouth flaps and movements. So like if there's some random pause in the middle of a phrase, you gotta make it work. You can't just sound like Captain Kirk. You know what I mean? Da-na-na-da-na-na-na. You have to figure out a way to make that work and make it sound natural and believable. That's one of the biggest challenges of anime voice acting. People that do what's called prelay, that's so easy, you guys. For anime voice actors, prelay is like our dream. So someday we're gonna get to go in and just perform the lines the way we want to perform them, and then somebody else will animate to our performance. That's what they do with Simpsons, Family Guy, all that stuff. They all go in there and they do the line however they want to do it, and then the director pieces together the audio, and then they give it to the animators. The animators animate to the finished audio. But here's what we see when we go into the studio. We go into there's a studio that has a control room area, and then there's a recording booth area, which is basically a phone booth. It's a very small little box that's padded, all padded, so that the sound is dead and it's quiet in there. And you've got a mic hanging down in front of you, and there's a TV screen with the anime on it, the video on it, and then there's another screen with the script on it. There used to be paper scripts, and you would hold the script, or you would have a music stand, and you do this, right? And you'd follow the script, the printed paper scripts, and you'd watch the video. But then somebody along the way had a brilliant idea. Get rid of the paper, put a second flat screen monitor in there that takes a feed from the director's computer with the script on it. So now when the line doesn't fit, and often they don't, and you have to rewrite the line, the director just writes it, types it right into the script, and there it is on your screen. And there's no rustling of papers and any noise that can come from trying to flip a page or bumping the music stand. So it's a really smart idea. So that's what we see. We're watching the video, and then right here we've got another monitor with the script on it and the microphone. And we've got headphones on, and in our headphones we can hear everyone else that's recorded so far, the music and the effects, and they'll play it once for us in the Japanese, so you can kind of get a sense of like what the mood of it is, and then we'll do it ourselves.